Hey, how's it going? Marcos Tranquila here from Leverage Consulting. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through some crazy stuff, which is, in my opinion, looking at the market, one of the most important concepts you have to grasp and implement into your skincare and supplement brand for the next year, right? 2024, and also the years after. All right, how we 5x skincare and supplement brands in 2 to 6 months using educational funnels without being stuck in the UGC rat race. It's a blue ocean strategy for 2024. Um, I'll just quickly walk you through what you are going to learn here because I'm literally going to give away everything, right? So, this is going to be a full walkthrough of what we do, and you can basically implement it by yourself. All right, here on the left we see, the typical, more creative red ocean. You might be familiar with this. You might be burning through a lot of UGC and creatives and still being stuck, while on the right side you can have a much easier life and scale your e-commerce faster. For who is this? Also we'll get to that, but here actually key learnings. What are educational funnels and why are they the most underused yet most effective tool you can use for to increase your budgets? I'll show you some case studies, some proof. I'll tell you why it's the only way to structure performance marketing going forward. Also, with everything that you need in order to find winning angles quick and efficient, why you need educational funnels, how to build them, how to scale them, and examples. What are we talking about? This is the power of education before selling, right? And this is the basic concept that we will cover, where you have the normal funnel, which you're most likely going to have currently, where you send to a normal product page, collection, or homepage, and then the educational funnel, where we send from the ad to an educational landing page and then to a offer page. Quick proof and case studies. Supplement brand, 120K to almost 600K in 11 months. Here you can see the impact. This is where the educational funnels kicked in, and this is what happened. Quick before and after. As I said in the beginning, now they're at almost 600K. Another skincare brand. This is where we started to implement educational funnels, and you can see the curve. Same thing here. Another store, same thing with educational funnels. Another skincare brand here that we helped them take from go from 40K to 213K. Actually, they closed over 220, and you can see the impact, right, of educational funnels. Again, another skincare brand which we took basically from nothing to over 60K within 3 months, and only using educational funnels. So, who is this for, right? This is for you if you want to finally get over a 7-figure monthly run rate quick, or you just want to cross the 500K and you're stuck below, right? This is for you if you're tired of the UGC rat race and low return on ad spends, even though you invest a bunch of money and time in order to produce those creatives to keep up. And also, if you don't want to be stuck almost doing almost everything in your e-commerce, being tied to the day-to-day, you might have an ad agency, but you're not really happy with the results and what you pay them actually. Then also, like, if you put just immense amount of efforts into getting Meta to work, but it's not working profitably, you might be scared that your competition will eat you alive next year, just because your current approach is not good enough and you don't overachieve, so that you have some kind of room or margin of error. Then your products are unique in general, and you have a unique mechanism or technology why your products are actually superior to most of the other products out there. But it's still not easy to show people why your products are so much more different and so much better than others. right? So it needs some information, some more information. You need some education. But once people understand that and buy your product, they usually stick with the product for a long time because it has an amazing quality, right? Then who is this not for? This is not for you if your products are, in no way unique, right? Just very replaceable products. Then if you're selling a very low AOV product, this is going to be very hard and not for you. Of course, some get rich quick people that want to scam customers into products with low quality. And it's not for info products, not for resellers, and not for people that are open to learn new ways of converting their target audience. Core concept. Here's the truth. You can easily get to a high 7-figure and even 8-figure monthly run rate only using educational funnels. However, most meta ad agencies and creative agencies are just not equipped with the skills to set them up because they're only focused on what happens before the click, right? So they're very focused on in-platform. Reality is that you need to first educate people before they buy to convince them that your products are unique, right? So that they see the value of of your products, not the price. And we are some of the only experts that solve this particular problem for skincare and supplement e-commerce brands. Quick 30-second background: who am I and what gives me the permission to talk about that stuff? My name is Marcus Tanquila, founder Leverage Consulting, GmbH. Skincare and supplement brands come to us to scale to 7 figures fast. We set up infrastructures, place and train in-house teams for brands, spent 10 million in ad spend across all channels in our portfolio brands. 2023. I'm in e-commerce since 6 years. Started with Amazon, copywriting freak, meta scaling freak. I'm going to show you a little bit of that also, and a co-owner now of one skincare brand and 2 supplement brands. So I helped over 50 e-commerces now since I started, and this is how I started, right? I started my own e-commerce on Amazon 2017. This is me in the basement of my parents' house, and this is my first product, which was postcards actually, that I sold on Amazon. And then I wanted to build my Shopify store, but failed completely. Like, I invested a couple of $1,000 on Facebook, had a horrendous CPA of $200 on a $20 AOV product. So absolute fail. At the same time, I wanted to finance my studies, so I needed to get this thing to work somehow. And from that point, I became completely obsessed with scaling e-commerces and advertising, copywriting in general. So I started reading every copywriting book I could get my hands on, and literally decided to learn from people that have done it before, right? Then I got my first e-commerce clients, and after some initial small successes and failures, I finally cracked the code and was able to scale a brand from 27K to 893K in just 30 days, which you can see here. That was a gin brand, crazy success story. And this helped me to figure out the exact formula for scaling e-commerces through paid ads. And after that, we scaled, basically hired a team, built up a team, and we scaled more e-commerces in the skincare and supplement niche, as you've seen above. And we expanded this formula with educating people before selling them. Well, disclaimer, I only share stuff that has been working for my brands and our portfolio companies. So I'm not just going to share some theoretical stuff, but only the stuff that I see working. Sure, there are many ways to get to success. What I believe mainly is that you need a system to produce results. It's not just about finding getting a lucky shot or some random win, but you want to have something that gets wins all the time. So stuff that I'm sharing is literally proven systems. Cool. Educational funnel method. So now we get to the juice of this, and the first step is, why are educational funnels your blue ocean strategy going forward? So you know this classic red ocean, blue ocean, but now let's look into this a little bit more from the specific perspective of skincare and supplement brands currently, right, with your performance marketing. So the red ocean is where you currently most likely are, right? Which is UGC is not enough anymore. Everybody is doing UGC creatives, and less and less customers are also believing it, right? The competition is rising. New brands are popping up basically monthly with products that look the same or very similar, but they don't necessarily have the same quality and same quality ingredients as yours. Yet they're flooding the market and are basically, um, you know, in the same market as you are and in the same ocean that you are. So, what are the results currently? Everybody's doing the same stuff, so that means the customers are just confused, right? They end up buying products that don't have a great quality because they cannot really see the difference, and they don't understand why your product, for example, is better than others. So the return on ad spend in most cases is terrible or not scalable, which means it's right around the break even thing, right, the even break even KPIs, but not really scalable. So you're burning money on ad budgets and content production just to keep up with spending break even. And you have a lot of headaches with content creators, ad agencies, while not seeing the results that you actually need. Okay, so yeah, traffic numbers may be looking okay, CPCs may be okay, but at the end of the day, the conversion rates most of the times are really low. What's the blue ocean now? Blue ocean is to educate your customers before you sell them something, right? So instead of sending them straight to a page where you sell them the product, or even worse, like a collection page or just the home page, you want to send them to a page that has educational content, right? And it's kind of like pre-selling your product. So this is the way to hook them, to help them to identify, right? So that they understand, okay, this is for me. This is actually done for me. I have those pain points, for example. So they identify with what you do, and then you even have the option to upsell them or to sell them higher AOV products, right? Not just the regular product, but they will see the value of your product, and this is an option or an opportunity to sell them higher value products upfront. So what are the results then? Results are that you have a higher return on ad spend or lower CPA, and because you have a higher conversion rate, that's because you have a higher conversion rate on higher AOV products. Plus, you're filling your Facebook funnel with people that show interest in the educational content, which means they identify as someone in your target audience. This leads then to your regular UGC ads and image ads that you have running currently to perform better because they get shown to more engaged prospects and pre-qualified prospects. So here a little bit, like just to show you that more graphically, what you're currently doing, or most people are doing in the skincare and supplement space, is that they overload their ad creative, right? So the ad creative, which could be a UGC, has basically the task of attracting the right customer, educating the customer, and then already convert the customer so that they go to the product page pre-educated and ready to convert, right? But this has many downsides because we see sometimes very high creative fatigue, which you might know, right? And it's not so easy to get the attention of people for so long that they really consume this educational part. So what you're doing essentially with educational funnels is that you take off the load of the ad creative, right? So the ad creative's main task is to attract the right customers, then send them to an educational page where you educate those customers and pre-frame them on your product, and then you send them to a product page or sales page, and this is where you convert them, right? So step 2, research target audience and messaging. Most agencies and brands, they're just throwing a bunch of random creatives into Facebook and see what sticks. And this is a pattern that I see all the time. I'm doing account audits every week with brands in this space, and that's what most of the brands are telling me, right? They're just trying creatives. Maybe you get like a new trend, then you hear something like, yeah, we need 50 UGCs per month. You have to test at least 30 creatives per week. Creative is everything. You need this TikTok style video, and you need to try those 10 hooks. But at the end of the day, you're not really smarter than you were before, right? You're just testing through hundreds of creatives, but they're not really working consistently. And the only way to keep up your performance is to produce an enormous amount of creatives. And this is what I call the creative hamster wheel, right? That a lot of brands are creating for themselves or even agencies. So, yeah, while this is one way of finding a winning creative, I'm not saying you cannot find it. You can find it, but it's very, very expensive, right? So you don't really know what the message is and what really triggers your target audience and the exact target audience that you want for your product. Um, this is the highest risk thing that you can do, right? Because you're basically setting everything up to burn money. Yeah, time to come up with new creative concepts every single week. Finding fitting UGC creators, paying them unreasonable sums, and it's crazy. Some brands that tell me they pay creators like $900 for a video, which is completely nuts, right? Then you have to collect all the content and then spend even ad spend to validate, and most of the concepts are not working, or if they do, they stop working after a couple of weeks. So there's a smarter way, and our goal is to find winning creatives as fast and cost efficient as possible. So this all stems on how good do we know, how well do we know our future customers that will buy our products, and also what they will value about our products. So if you would know this would be, it would be way easier to create content, right? And create educational pages. So you would put all of this know-how into every UGC, every brief that you get to a content creator, and you most likely would have a higher hit rate. So the cool thing is that you already have happy customers, and we're essentially looking for more of the same, right? So this is like the rough process. You define all relevant angles, then you test 10 messages per angle and define an advertising copy, then create the message testing creatives. And this way you can find out what are the right messages, right? Where does the market resonate? And here I've put there our full internal process on how we get those messages. How can you extract messages from reviews that your customers give you? How can you extract angles so that you can come up with those message testing creatives? And then we literally take super simple image creatives to validate those messages. And I mean, this takes 2 hours and a couple of bucks that you have to invest in ad spend. But after 1 to 2 weeks max, you know exactly what kind of message is working, and you saved yourself thousands of dollars, right? This is something that you can do also like on the side while you have other creators running. But those are just a couple of examples, right? How this could look like. Very, very simple. You have the message here, and you basically just exchange the message, right? So you have this creative with 10 different messages, and you test those against each other to find out where does the market resonate the most. I call this lean message testing framework, and this is how we always start, right? So also in this specific funnel type that we're looking into, I would still recommend to do this because that's something that will 100% save you money. Well, and yeah, most likely it could be that you will fire your ad agency or creative agency. So there's even a bonus. Here we use AI copywriting tool that is specifically trained on e-commerce copy. So you can check this out here. Super cool thing. You can basically just go there and research kind of like angles based on your product and based on your brand, and it will show you okay, what are the messages that you can run, what are the target audiences that you can target. That just makes things a lot easier. Cool. Step 3, choose or build a high AOV no-brainer offer. And this is very, very crucial because you can do everything right, but if you don't do this, you won't see like any superior return on ad spend. Because we will be educating the target audience more about the value of our products and how they are superior and better than other products, people will accept to pay a higher price. That is very crucial. The whole effort of educating would not be rewarded if we then sell them a low AOV offer. So we want to increase the AOV, right? And best case, build bundles or like testing sets. You have to think of kind of like an offer for a first-time customer, right? Which is a great deal, but at the same time, they spend more money than just buying a single product, right? So this will make us more revenue and more profit than with a single sale. And what we're able to do then is that we can spend $50, just as an example, instead of $25 to acquire a new customer, right? Which gives us way more room to test, to scale, and ultimately makes it way easier. So again, full walkthrough on how to come up with irresistible offers. That's like from our internal learning resource. I won't go into this right now, but you can check it out here on the link. Then it's about choosing the right educational funnel, right? First, what's the benefit of educational funnels? We talked a little bit about that already, but let's dive deeper into this now. So educational funnels prioritize educating prospects before selling them anything. So you could think of that as an educational gate. People have to go through this gate. They have to pass through this gate before they even see your product in detail, specifically the price of your product. So this gives us an opportunity to sell the product's value first, not the price, but the value, so that people understand the value and create interest and desire for our product, so they don't care as much about the price. So they totally understand after they gone through that what their benefits are and how your product is at the end of the day better and different than products that they might have even tried before. In general, we have 3 types of educational funnels, which are listicles, advertorials, and quiz funnels, right? So listicles, I'll show you an example here. This is a listicle, which is like a very, very, simple idea, but very, very effective, right? So here you can see this is the typical 7 reasons why, right? Or 5 reasons why this pillowcase in that case is your unexpected new best friend. Okay, so here you have some bullet points basically that educate the people about the product and also about, like, they hook them in, they hook the right target audience in, pre-qualify people. As you can see, there is no price, no nothing, some social proof, and at the end of the day, you have a call to action, right? Then there are also advertorials, where you can have comparison advertorials, where you compare different products against each other. Then you have some kind of like news flash, viral trend advertorials. You have personal emotional story advertorials, and you have the same thing in video format. All right. So here you can click. Might take a while, but this is also a link to a bunch of, like, here, for example, on the listicle page, I've linked a folder of examples for listicles, some inspiration, the same thing for advertorials, same thing for the quiz funnel. So you can just go through that. in detail, but just to let you know, for example, here we have comparison advertorials. Just to show you one example. Yeah, and this is basically a very, very good inspiration on, just how to basically funnel hack. Oh, won't work. So let's zoom in a little bit. As you can see, like the advertorials are definitely more work, right? Which I'll also cover in a second. This is why we'll actually, we'll actually focus on listicles first, just to get things rolling very, very quickly. All right, so that's an example for an advertorial. You have the 5 best green powders, for example, where you can then compare different green powders and educate people again about why they need them and why it's important. Okay, so before, instead of just copying something that you see out there, you should definitely use the research that you've conducted in the step before, right? Just to understand what are the most promising angles. And this is a simple structure that I recommend and that we also use, which means we have an angle, and for each angle you have a listicle / advertorial that you then test. So we want to think 80-20 and implement educational funnels fast. That's how we start with the listicles, because they give us a lot of flexibility. So step 5, building the educational funnel. A great listicle is 90% research and understanding the target audience, and 10% actually building it, right? So maybe a little bit exaggerated, but I think you get the point, and this is very important to highlight. It's literally about understanding your target audience. And here are the sections that you need, right? You need a headline that speaks directly to your target audience. You need 5 bullet points. That's how we always start. First, you dig into the pain point, the problem, make a bold promise. Then you explain the unique mechanism of your product. Then you compare your product to the competition. You tell people what do respected third parties say about the product, and also what do other people from the target audience say about the product. Then you might have a founder statement, social proof, some more social proof, and the call to action, basically with the deal. So what is important to highlight here, we don't show the price on this page. We literally only want to educate. And the call to action is on the bottom of the page, which is very, very crucial, because people have to consume this educational content first. We don't want them to click straight to the sales page, because we want them to consume and understand why this product is so much better. So that's an example, as I've shown before already. And here you can see just the kind of like different bullet points, right? Where it says your beauty routine starts when you're asleep. This is really education, right? Break up the breakage. You can see in the first couple ones, this is more about maybe some problems that the people of your target audience are facing, right? For example, like the breaking of the hair, right? So this is something that creates high resonance in your target audience, so that they see this and they're like, okay, yeah, I know this. That's the pain point that I have, right? So this is the first thing that we want to do. Then it's about a bold claim, right? Luxury self-care without the luxury price tag, right? This might be something that people want, and at the same time, you can see here, like you give it to them, but you tell them that it's very cheap, right? Or cheaper than they might think. And then you go along. But at the end of the day, this is really like the basic structure. Here, you can really copy that. You can go through all of the examples that I've shared with you. Here's another example they can check out. And again, we use the AI tool here just to get things quicker. It doesn't mean that it writes everything for you, but it's just a very good starting point. You can basically say, what is your brand, what is your product, target audience, and so on and so forth. And then you have a good starting point, right? Which you can then just optimize. Cool. All right. Then setup and meta. You want to keep this as simple as possible. And this is very important to repeat because that's literally something that I see all the time in ad accounts. Super complicated setups, like with a bunch of different campaigns with different campaign objectives. So yeah, and most of the times either the agency or even the brand like don't really know what's going on and how to optimize it. So very easy takeaway: complexity kills scalability. So the less complex your account, the easier it is to scale. And we use a simple one testing campaign and one scaling campaign setup. Here's the full guide for the setup. So literally that's exactly the campaign setup that we use. There I explain step by step, how do we do it and how should you set it up. And you can go through this on your own. Everything explained step by step. I think here I have to log in. Let's see. Okay, then that's it. Like, what is the process looking like? Very simplified. You test creatives, the winning creatives you put into the evergreen, and this is where most of the spend goes, right? So you want to pre-test creatives and then scale them instead of just throwing all of the creatives into one campaign. You want to test first. Okay, then you can build this structure also like next to your existing one, right? This is basically just for the educational funnels. This is something that shouldn't touch your existing ones. Then what kind of creatives should you use, right, when you launch on Meta? First, you want to use the message testing creatives that you already did from the first step. And this is, again, like the full process, how to create them. You have more examples there. And you also have, just literally a template, right, that you can copy paste and you can just change a little bit, adjust to your needs. And then you can launch the message testing creatives. I'll show you that in a second as well. Here's the campaign setup. Exactly, right? So here you have the whole breakthrough ad account structure that we use with all the campaigns, the specifics, how you use them, and how you like all the, even a dashboard, right, that you can just copy everything you need basically. Then we have the message testing creative. Here you see the template that you can download. Here's some examples of message testing creatives. So everything explained there step by step. Cool. Then, of course, you want to use your best performing ad creatives so far. You can also redirect them to a listicle, right? Then any ad creatives that have very cheap CPCs and fit the angle at the end of the day. And one thing that we also do is just very short UGC mashups, where you have like 15-second videos and you maybe combine different UGCs into one quick video that grabs the attention of your target audience. Here's again a link that you can check out with some examples. All right, in the educational funnel approach, the main job of the creatives is to generate qualified attention, right? We talked about this earlier. So this means you want to attract people from your target audience in a specific angle so that they have a high match with our listicle, right? This comes back to what we talked about here. Exactly, so there has to be a high match between your angle, your message in the creative, and then also the listicle where they land. Cool. The creative does not have to do the education in detail. That's the beauty of this approach. And this makes the whole creative process easier, right? We can only focus on getting qualified attention in the creatives, and the educational funnel does the rest in terms of education. Cool. Step 7, scale your funnel. And this is something that like a lot of people like are very worried about, and they want to know all of the crazy scaling hacks and stuff like that. They want to shortcut the whole process, but if you've done the steps above correctly, you will see that this is the easiest part actually. The only thing you have to know is your target CPA, right? What is your target cost per acquisition? And that's like, this is kind of like the main thing. You need to know how much you're willing to spend on a new customer. This is not covered in detail in this video. I will make future videos on that. But let's assume you know your target CPA. Make sure you start to start with a high enough daily budget, right? So when you really want to know quickly if something is working, I recommend going with a 5 to 10x CPA. So the maximum you can spend, CPA is the maximum that you can spend for a new customer. So why that? This ensures that you have enough budget to generate sufficient purchases per day. Otherwise, you're always in this muddy zone where one or two or three sales decide if it's a bad day or a good day, and this can lead to just wrong decision making, right? So if your CPA is 50, for example, you want to spend at least 250 to 500 bucks in your educational evergreen campaign, because this will show you, okay, do you see a positive trend or a negative trend? Also, when judging the results, that's very important, especially if you have other stuff running. You want to look at the overall trajectory, right? So the MER, marketing efficiency ratio. We had this in some cases where the tracking on Meta, especially, was really bad, and we almost turned off those educational pages, but then saw, okay, the overall impact is actually positive, right? We're able to spend way more. The UGC creatives, the normal funnel creatives, are working way better. So this is where we understood, okay, those educational pages are actually driving this trend. Then we increased the budgets, and we saw that the trend continued. So the conversion would not happen without the educational funnel, exactly. Yet no sale gets attributed. This is why you need to see how the overall performance is developing. We use, for example, Triple Whale in most cases, just to have a better overview on the performance. Here's a link also. You get 15% off with this code. But you can also use something like HighROS or similar solutions, just not Facebook only, because there you most likely don't have a good enough tracking. As long as you see an overall positive impact, also a higher return on ad spend on the ad level, you can increase daily by 20 to 30%, right? This is very simplified. Of course, in some cases we had way higher scalings, as you've seen, like jumps from 40K to 220K. You can't do by just increasing daily by 10% or 20%. But this is very, very simplified, and will do a lot of good things. Then you need to iterate on the creatives, educational funnels, front-end offers, just to unlock a new level, right? At some point, you will hit a plateau with the current setup, and then you need to iterate, right? Either it's a new creative type, it's a new angle, it's a new educational funnel type, or a new front-end offer, or a new target audience, right? But then this way you can stack those and unlock a new level of growth. Cool. Then there's a full breakdown of how we scale funnels, because this is like a topic on its own. I could talk for hours about this. Here's actually from one of my keynotes. I explain in detail how we scale an account from 200 euros per day to over 30K per day within 7 days. And here you find all the scaling fundamentals. I'll leave you a link here. Then, bonus. Actually, this is very cool. There's a calculator for the performance of your educational funnels, right? So you can just go there, type in all of the relevant KPIs that you need to that you have in your business, and this way you can kind of like understand a little bit. Okay, what do I need? And like what kind of numbers do I need to hit in order to make this educational funnel work, right? So I'll leave that to you again. And optimization. Step 8, optimization and infrastructure. So make sure to monitor the performance and see which angle and listing will produce the best CPAs, right? That's the first task. Then on the very first level, you want to see trends in specific angles, right? So you might test 3 different angles. Then you see, okay, one angle is performing way better than the other 2. So you want to cut the other 2 and focus on the one first. Doesn't mean that you will never, target those other 2 ever again, but you want to, move your budget very quickly towards one thing that is working and try to make it work better. Yeah, if it works, you have to come up with more creative ad concepts, listicle variations. You can test headlines, you can test the bullet points, then a specific high AOV bundle, right? For example, if you have some kind of skincare solution, and one of the angles is acne, right? Then you send to a listicle that basically educates people about acne, then why your product is good against acne or helps against acne. Then a specific high AOV bundle would be an anti-acne bundle that people could buy, right? Because then you can see it's super consistent from the first touch point to the education to then the product, which is kind of like the perfect solution to this initial problem. This would be a specific high AOV bundle. To run this, you definitely need the right infrastructure, right? Which is kind of like two things. One is processes and systems. So creative pipeline, educational funnel pipeline, templates for creatives, listicles, advertorials, quizzes, whatever you want to test there. Then you need a team, creative strategist, media buyer, copywriter, ad cutter, or graphic designer, and then also the content sourcing. So the minimum size team, I would say, is to start. Is to have one person running the ads and writing the copy, and the other one taking care of all the visual stuff and creatives. Both have to be very well trained and working highly efficient, right? Then you can always like gradually expand the team and take in more, bring in more team members. So, summary. As you can see, all you need to do is research the right target audience, choose the right education funnel, build the educational funnel, set it up in Meta, scale the funnel, and optimize the funnel, and build the infrastructure to continuously improve the results. And this way you can scale to 7 figures easily, or even 8-figure run rate in the next 3 to 6 months. Okay, so next steps. What are the next steps? You can either implement this entire process above by yourself. However, this is just like from talking to founders, from seeing how they try to implement this. You might face a couple of issues or roadblocks, right? The skills you need are very specialized and will likely take you 5 to 10 hours a day for the next 6 to 12 months, right? To achieve the same results, let's say, without any outside help. Like I shared everything above, right? This is literally, you can take everything, but it takes some time to get, to get it into your system, let's say. Every month that you spend trying to do it yourself without guidance, you're just missing out on gaining momentum, right? So, and you're missing out on creating some separation between yourself and competitors. And momentum is actually one of the most important things, especially when trying something new. And you've seen the case studies. I can tell you it works. It's just how long do you have the patience to really do it religiously and implement it? You might calculate the target CPA not correctly, right? And this might lead to overspending or underspending. So this is a very crucial point because there's some complexities to it depending on what kind of product you're pushing, what kind of front end offer you're pushing, what the lifetime value of an offer or a specific customer is looking like. Depending on that, you need to calculate the CPA in the right way. Even if you find a winning educational funnel, you might scale it too slow, right? That's also something. It's amazing if you get this done and you have everything here, and you find something that is working. That's great, but at the same time, you have to scale it aggressively then also, because you might miss out on completely life-changing hyperscalings, right? Like one of the case studies, or some of the case studies that I've shown you, where we 5x a store, or basically the store, like the team itself, they 5x'd within 2 months, right? And yeah, your team might not be fully equipped with the necessary weekly structure, the tasks, the priorities, right, on what to do next. And impatience, as I said, could also be something that makes you stop before, like, if you're maybe like just 1 or 2 steps before the breakthrough, and you're stopping. This might be one of the worst case scenarios, actually. Or you could work with us at Leverage Consulting and have the entire system set up for you within 2 weeks for 1/10 of the costs and times and headache. So again, this is for you if you want to finally get over the 7-figure monthly run rate fast, and you want to be scaling. You want to have the scaling infrastructure in-house to get there. And this is exactly how we've helped this supplement brand, for example, and many more skincare brands, literally 5x, right? You can see it here. This is when we started. We started actually a little bit earlier to start to implement those educational funnels. And this jump, this development is something that is completely changing the whole business. Here's what's going to happen when you work with us. So you will have a fully trained team pumping out educational funnels and creatives on scale for 2024 and onwards. You will be able to put to up to to be up to 5x your brand through education before selling, right? That's the point that I hopefully brought across, that you educate before selling, and you can do this in-house then. You can, if you want, get rid of any ad agency, right? That is more concerned about increasing their profits rather than yours and wasting your time and energy and money. This is something that I also hear a lot from founders. That a lot of agencies, and unfortunately, it's that way. It's true that most of the agencies are really not working for your business with your KPIs, and this is something that you could change then. You can forget about wondering how you target your dream customers on Meta. We talked about this, the lean message testing creative, conducting research, and basically doing all of the steps after based off of that research. And you will feel more safe about your acquisition, and you can focus as a founder on growing other parts of the business. So before, basically, when you wanted to scale your ad spend profitably, you would have to pay unreal sums to creators, agencies, produce hundreds of creators for every month. But now you will be using educational funnels and 5x your skincare and supplement brand in a way more efficient and lean way. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how we can set this up, like the entire system, click this link here. You can book a strategy session to see if you're a fit. And also, for a limited time, we build a listicle, like a demo listicle, with your specific product, your brand, completely for free, right? So you can see how this would look like for you, and then walk you through all of the whole process. And also look inside of your current strategy, right? Just giving you value. As you can see in this video, that's the main goal. And then we see if it's a fit. So worst case, we make a full scaling plan for your brand, and you can implement it by yourself. Cool. I hope you found you got some value out of this video. Definitely make sure to check out this document. I'll link it in the description below. You can access all of the materials for free and then implement it. Let me know also if you have any questions about the implementation in the comments, so I can guide you through that. And to your e-commerce scaling success. I hope that you crush it with your skincare and supplement brand. And see you on the next video. Take care.